What's going on, ladies and germs? Welcome back to the channel. Today I got a funny little game that I'm going to talk about. One that's, well, I mean, I guess it's kind of on my radar. So I got accepted to the the Super Yooka Laylee Kart playtest. Well, that's pretty cool. Now, just to give a little bit of my own personal perspective on things here. So this game was leaked ahead of time, but even before it got leaked, I kind of had a little sneaky suspicion that Platonic Games over there, they might have been cooking up something with Yooka-Laylee and karts. What was it in, I think it's in Yooka-Laylee, I don't know, I forget where it is. It's in like their little storybook somewhere. You got a picture of like them in the karts, and I was like, wait a minute, they don't do that. They don't do that in this game. And so, like, naturally, you know, when Super Yooka Laylee Kart got leaked, pretty much everybody assumed it was going to be more of a Diddy Kong Racing spiritual successor, including myself. I think that's what a lot of us have been clamoring for a while, and I mean, can you blame us for thinking that Platonic might have been doing that? They are, like, the rare people. They've built their whole identity on being like, we are rare, but not rare, ooh. So yeah, when Yooka-Laylee Kart got revealed, I mean, I can't really say I was disappointed. I thought it looked interesting, but it definitely looked a lot more akin to like an arcadey kind of kart racer. Yeah, something closer to like Super Mario Kart from the Super Nintendo. But, you know, I love the work that Platonic does. I know people were, you know, not super in love with the original Yooka-Laylee release, and I liked it. I liked it for what it was. And then Impossible Lair was fantastic. Replayly was also amazing. I did a review on that earlier this year. You can go check that out. So I'm not one to just dismiss it on the premise of it not being a game that I thought I wanted, you know? Just because this wasn't Diddy Kong Racing 2.0 doesn't mean that I should just, like, you know, throw it in the dumpster. So on Steam, they gave the ability to sign up for the Yooka Kart playtest, and I went ahead and signed up for that. I gotta check it out, right? And I got accepted. I got the email this morning. That was pretty cool. So I jumped in as quickly as I could. I was excited to see what they were cooking up here. There's not a whole lot to chew on in this playtest. It's purely a time trial playtest, and you have two tracks to race on. The Tribal Stack Tropics, I think it's called, and then the Marsh. I can't think of Moody Marsh, is that maybe what it is? Off the top of my head, I don't know. It was a marsh. It was Shrek's Swamp. There we go. Right off the rip, and you can probably tell from my gameplay, it's slippy. It's a little bit slippy, and it did take me, I don't know, well, I can't say it took me that long to adjust to it. Like, I'm used to, like, you know, kind of slippy kart racers like this. That's kind of what they're built on. It's kind of like the bread and butter of these types of arcadey kart racer type games. It feels a little bit loose, but that's kind of the magic of it to an extent. You sort of learn how the game feel is. You kind of learn how to, you know, maneuver your kart in the best possible ways, so that way you can kind of master the movement and the track layouts and all that kind of stuff. And in this particular case with the playtest, you know, you are trying to, well, beat the best times. I gotta say, I think it feels nice for the most part. I mean, I enjoyed kind of like starting to get good at racing through these tracks. I was trying my best to see if I could, like, you know, snag some of the top spots. I did get up to like 24th or something like that on the global leaderboard on the Marsh level. I don't think I got quite that high on Tribal Stack Tropics. Man, I was, for some reason, I don't know why, I struggled more with Tribal Stack Tropics. Just the movement. I'm like still kind of like getting a feel for it. I mostly played as Yooka. There's a couple of different like character types. They fall into different categories. Yooka is an all-arounder. Off the top of my head, I don't know what the other ones are because I really only played as Yooka, although I did try, and I don't know if I got footage of this, but I played as Mr. Snake, the trouser snake. I forgot that was his name. That's goddamn, dude. Trouser Snake. But he's also an all-arounder, so he plays the same as Yooka. There are a handful of characters in there, and I mean, okay, so I don't want to like put my foot in my mouth. I don't want to like set any expectations that aren't what they're supposed to be. But I thought maybe they hinted at or teased the possibility of like guest racers. I don't, maybe I shouldn't be saying this. I don't know. don't listen to a word I say. I am not an official source. I swear though, I thought I remember them like kind of teasing something like that. Anyway, let's move past that. Just pretend that blurb didn't happen. I want to play as Capital B. He's on the cover art. He kind of looks like, I think he has a cart, so maybe he'll be playable. Is he playable in this? Hang on a second. Am I being stupid? You know what? I'm gonna fire up the game right this fucking second just to see if Capital B is playable. I don't actually know if he is. I'll just like, let's do it. Okay, so he is not playable in this demo. Okay, so now I got we have the all-rounders, heavy, accelerators, and grippy. Laylee is grippy. Ooh. Yeah, a couple of fun little characters here. Dr. Puzz, Dr. Quack. I want to play as Dr. Quack, actually. I gotta try him out at some point. Vendy is a horrid abomination. And then good old Trouser. I think I'll main Trouser. Unless Capital B ends up being playable, which I guess that would make sense that he would be in the heavy category. Vendy's the only one there. Anyway, fun little selection of characters from the Yooka universe. I guess we'll see if anything else pops up. The music is kind of like fun little kart racer remixes of the music from these levels in the Yooka Laylee game. So again, like Tribal Stack Tropics, Monty's Marsh. I'm just gonna keep giving it different names. And you know, they're fun little jams, kind of chiptune-y to an extent. I don't know who's doing the music this time around, not sure. I like the themes of the levels, like not like the music themes, but like just the theming, you know, of the levels themselves. But you know, when you're racing, your eyes are glued to the track because, well, it's very fast. It's pretty fast-paced, and with how much, like, you need to be in control, how much you need to, you know, have proper dexterity to, like, maneuver through these tracks. You don't get a whole lot of time to look at all the details and the environments going on around you. So that is kind of like, you know, just a little bit of a shame. But, like, I mean, that's not really much different than any other kart racer, really. I mean, you know, I don't know. I don't know why I tried to make that sound like it's a bad thing. It's I don't know. It's not. That's just the way it is. That's the way kart racers are. Seems like there are some fun potential shortcuts to really sort of like sand down your time during these time trials. I think I got pretty good at like maneuvering through Tribal Stack Tropics and taking the shortcuts there, but like I don't know how people got their times so stinking low. Maybe if there's a way to like race against the ghosts, I can get a better idea of how they did it. I'm sure there probably is. When you replay these tracks, you can race against your own ghost and, like, you know, try to compete against yourself to get better times. So yeah, I don't know. What else can I say? I mean, it looks fun. It's interesting. It's very retro, which was an interesting direction to take for this. I don't really mind how it looks personally, and it plays fine. It's pretty fun. Time trials generally aren't my, like, go-to game mode for these types of things, though, so I am definitely curious to see, like, how this game is going to feel when you're actually going against other racers and dealing with all the obstacles that kind of come along with that. You know, getting into, like, actual races is kind of more what I'm interested to find out about here. That will kind of be more of a determiner of fate for me, for how good this game truly will be. I don't know. But at the very least, like, you know, this playtest, it didn't deter me from the game or anything like that. I'm certainly interested to see what else this game has to offer. I find that as I'm getting older, I tend to prefer these kind of more, like, arcadey, pick-up-and-play types of games. There's a lot of games that just have, like, a whole lot of wind-up before you can really get into them and, like, you know, really just, like, actually play the game. I'm looking over at Sony, like, you know, I'm, like, repulsed by their storybook movie games, you know? I'm like, I just want to play a game. More often than not, I find that I'm getting a lot more enjoyment out of these kind of like cheaper pick up and play indie kind of realm sorts of games. So, you know, I'll be keeping my eye out. I'll be keeping my eye on Super Yooka Laylee Kart. To anybody out there who has had a chance to play Super Yooka Laylee Kart, what do you think about it? How are you feeling about it so far? like I said, yeah, I'm liking it. I mean, I don't doubt that I'll pick it up. I'm a fan of Platonic's work, so what can I say? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.